Hi everyone, welcome to the theraioracle. I am outside today bringing you all a channeled message, and we're going to just do a little message on what you can expect for the month of March. And if your spirit team has a message for you, then I will be channeling their messages as well. But we're going to look into what the overall energy is going to be for the month of March, and then break that down and see the little details that could be going on as well. Also, I am outside today, so if you hear any birds or you hear the wind in the trees rattling back and forth, it's because your girl is outside. The weather felt good today. The air feels nice. I needed some fresh air, so we outside. All right, so let's get started. Today I will be using the Book of Shadows tarot decks. I'll be using the As Above deck and So Below deck for this reading. So just in case if you like what you see in this deck, this is the deck that I'm using, and you can probably get it off of Amazon or from your local metaphysical store. Starting out, I want to use the As Above deck. This group of people who need to hear this message, what is the overall energy that they can experience for the month of March? All right, so we got these two cards that jumped out. Okay, so for this group, you guys got the card in bulk, and then you also got the card of initiation. Looking closer at these cards, it is a woman who's wearing a furry cape, and she is scooping water out of a hot kettle, and she's pouring it into like a reservoir, and it looks like she's preparing a bath. She's getting ready to take her spiritual bath. And then if you look at this card shows two figures in the sky, a feminine figure and a masculine figure, and then you have a woman who is in a circle of fire, and it looks like she's reaching up to this divine masculine and this divine feminine energy. It kind of seems like there's going to be some kind of purging and then some kind of call for you all. Let's look at the book's definition for these cards. So the in bulk card represents the star card in traditional tarot, and it says the baby son, God, grows as he is nurtured by the Great Mother. Pagans begin calling to the goddess, asking her to return from the underworld, while Yule celebrates the return of the sun. In bulk rejoices at the first signs of spring, when the snow and ice of winter begin to thaw and new lives begin. In bulk means in the belly, and Oy milk means ooze milk, signifying a clear connection between this holiday and the lamb soon to be born. During this celebration, which is focused on purification, it is a time of cleaning things out, both literally and symbolically. And so it's the divatory meaning is healing, hope, peace, comfort, guidance, direction, light in the darkness, gentle refreshment. So wow, okay, so this card is so right on time with the month of March, because we have the season of spring coming up. We have the spring equinox coming up, and I don't know about y'all, but for me, when the spring equinox comes up, like, I prepare by getting rid of all of my old stuff. This is usually when I do the things that normally what people would do around New Year's, by like throwing things away, doing like deep cleaning of the house, things like that. This is what I would do, but during March instead of New Year's. It's like New Year's is like the baby version of the spring equinox. It's like New Year's is when you're like, okay, now I need to really assess, like, what am I going to be letting go, and what am I going to be cleaning up, like what deep purging am I going to be doing to prepare for the spring equinox. So this card is coming right on time, because it definitely seems like for you guys in this group, you're going to be doing some deep purging, or it's recommended that you do some deep purging this month, whether it be in the form of a spiritual bath or in the form of like literally doing your spring cleaning, getting rid of the things that you no longer need, getting rid of the things that no longer resonate with your energy. And then also, like in your spiritual bath, shedding energies that you know do not belong with you. And that could require you sitting down with yourself and meditating and seeing what voices are you and what voices aren't, and going from there. Let's say you have some cord attachments from people from your past that you are still connected to in some way. Sometimes when we get out of relationships, we could still have a cord attached to a person that is no longer in alignment with our energy, yet we have this cord here and they can still pull on it when they want. So spring cleaning isn't just about throwing out the garbage, doing deep cleaning of your bathroom, your rooms, your living rooms, your kitchens. It's also about doing that deep energetic cleaning, seeing what energies that exist within you that do not resonate, seeing what cords that are still there that are pulling you that you need to let go of. And this cord doesn't have to be attached to a specific person. It can also be just an energy that you find yourself being pulled into no matter how many times you try to get out of it. And sometimes to recognize that energy, you really have to sit with yourself and see what is it that is pulling at you that you don't want to engage with anymore. So for example, let's say you have an unhealthy attachment to your phone. So let's say like you spend pretty much all of your time on your phone. You use it as a way to escape. You use it as a way to cope with life. There could be a cord there between you and that phone. Just like with anything that you grow an attachment with, you could be establishing a really strong cord with that thing. And let's say if you try to progress in your life in a certain kind of way, that with that cord still there, it can be pulling you back into patterns of behavior, patterns of thoughts that you're trying to let go of. So maybe wise to look within during this month of March to see what energies are lingering beneath the surface that don't need to be there. So yeah, that is what I'm getting from this in bulk card. Like you see the woman, she is preparing her spiritual bath, and then in the background it looks like it is winter, but because the snow is melting, winter is shifting into the season of spring. And so she is preparing to shed her winter coat and to be ready for spring. So I'm definitely getting that. For some of you, maybe you need to be taking spiritual baths this month as a way of shedding energies that you don't need to be holding on to or clinging to. And a way you can do that, of course, is, you can easily go online and look up spiritual bath, spiritual bath recipes. One way you can do it is just by using salt. Salt is such a powerful cleanser. You can use pink Himalayan salt, you can use sea salt, whatever type of salt that you have on hand. You can use table salt, any kind of salt will do. And you prepare yourself a bath, you put that salt in that baby, and you speak your intentions over that water and let the water, the intention, do the work. So that is a way you can go about your spiritual bath. Specifically, if you have any cords that you're trying to let go of, a way you can do that through a spiritual bath is by using black walnut powder. You can get that from like a metaphysical store, or you can get it off of Amazon, I'm pretty sure. Black walnut powder is something that a lot of people in the spiritual community use when they are doing cord cutting. So that is something that you can use if you're trying to go about it. I know when I was doing a cord cutting of a connection, I took me a nice little spiritual bath and I used that black walnut powder. I think I probably used some salt, like some lavender salts or something as well. I did my cord cutting in that way and it worked. What I'm also getting is that there is going to be a need for you to, either by you doing your own purging or just by this month bringing this energy of purging itself, there's a need for this because you're going to be going through an initiation this month, and your energy needs to be as clear as possible for you to hear the call of what you're being initiated into. And honestly, I've been getting this messaging a lot, even for myself, but I've been getting this messaging a lot that there are groups of people who are needed at the front lines. There are groups of people who are being called to step in leadership positions. There are people that are currently being called to step into their true calling. It's almost as if you were asleep and now you're being told, okay, it's time for you to wake up and take action. And action doesn't necessarily like mean put your boots on and grab your weapon from the artillery or anything, but it kind of feels like that. It kind of feels like, okay, now I've been asleep for this amount of time, and now we've reached the time in my incarnation for me to wake up and be initiated into my calling, or be told like, okay, it's time for you to start doing this. And so the woman, she's reaching up because she has received that sign, and so she immediately took action by creating a circle of fire and reaching out to the divine masculine, the divine feminine, or this can just represent ancestors, this can represent guides, these can represent gods or goddesses that are trying to reach out to you. This can represent, honestly, any energy or entity on the other side that is helping to facilitate this initiation for you. So yeah, you guys are going to be getting the call this month. You're going to be more than likely told to pivot in a new direction, and I'm getting the vibe that this direction for some of you may come out of left field. It may be a little like, like I was doing this, like for example, you're working a 9 to 5 and you're being told to quit that job, and I'm sure that they've been giving you signs on what your next move is, but perhaps you're like, what now? Like, I'm not ready. Like, is this actually the time for me to actually pursue this thing, go after this thing that I've been wanting to do for, or that I've been getting signs to do for however long? Like, is this actually the time? Like, am I ready for this? Am I ready for this? And I do see that for some of you, you may feel like, am I actually ready to do this? Is this the appropriate time for me to do this? And you may be feeling like that because you have things that you got to take care of. You could have families, you could have responsibilities, bills, like you gotta have a way to make money, and it could feel like this calling is very inconvenient to you. It could feel like this calling is very like, really, is this the time now? Like right now, like I'm not ready. So that could be an experience for some of you, but because of this divine masculine and this divine feminine energy in the sky, they're reaching down to the woman and she's reaching up. So that means that they're ready to support you. They're ready to grab your hand and take you on this journey, but you gotta take the first step. This lady, she has taken the first step by reaching out and asking like, yo, what's up? What's good? What's the next, what I gotta do? Like, y'all sent me a bird, and this bird had a little letter in its mouth, and on the letter it told me to set up a circle of fire to reach out to y'all. So I did. What's good? Like, what we doing now? So that may be what it is for y'all. But you are going to be divinely supported on the path that you're being initiated into. Okay, so let's start with the in bulk card. I want to know, like, what exactly does this group of people need to be shedding at this time? What does this group need to purge? Anything else? All right. We got these 3 cards. Alright, so the first card that jumped out is the 4 of Swords. Okay, so you see this girl, she is sitting in this chair, kind of seems like she's in La La Land. She has a headset on, and it does seem like she's in either her own home office, or maybe she just has her own office at her job, but it doesn't really look like she's focused on work. Like, she's in La La Land, she's sniffing the flowers. I think it kind of looks like she has like like lavender in her hand, and she's like sniffing on that lavender. And you know, like lavender can make you sleepy if you drink it. But it doesn't really seem like she's doing her job or that she's like focused. She's in another world. Even her air spirits around her are like bored, or just, you know, they're sleeping because like ain't nothing really going on. There's not much action. It doesn't really seem like she cares about the work. So yeah, this is the first card that jumped out, the Four of Swords in reverse. The next card that jumped out is the Nine of Wands, also in reverse. You see this girl, she is lighting a set of candles. It kind of seems like she's preparing for like a ritual or something, but as I look closer at the imagery, you can see like all of the tools that are in the manifestation card. You see the pentacles, you see the swords, you see the wands, you see the cup. You see that kind of sitting off at a table. And when I'm looking at this, upright, I can interpret this as like she's preparing for a ritual. She's preparing, like she has her tools out and she's getting ready to set some intentions and get some energy going. But in reverse, these tools have been set aside, and instead of lighting these candles for intention setting, she's just lighting some regular schmegular candles for, you know, the scent or whatever. So it kind of looks like she's not really doing no work for real. Or she's out of work as far as like manifesting things in her life. She's put her tools to the side, and she's no longer, you know, really doing any energetic work. And then moving to the last card, we have the Eight of Wands upright. So in this imagery, this woman, she has her arms out and she's almost reaching for that energy from spirit, energy from the divine, and she is channeling that energy into an intention, and she knows what she's doing. And so I kind of think that's interesting because you have this Nine of Wands here, and it kind of looks like the tools for manifesting has been set aside. But then on this card, you see that she is actively reaching out to spirit to bring an intention that she has set to life, to get that movement going, to get that intention going. So let me ask spirit exactly what they want you all to purge. So the vibe that I'm getting so far from spirit is like, I'm getting this vibe that you've been living a very comfortable life right now. Perhaps the job that you have lets you be very comfortable, but it's not necessarily a job that is like challenging or stimulating for you. And it definitely isn't for your spirit either. And so I'm kind of getting that you've grown real comfortable, real chill at this job. And I'm getting that from the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is about resting. It's about retreating. You could be recovering from like a heartbreak. You could be recovering from grief. So when you're moving into like the Four of Swords energy, you're moving into a period of resting, into a period of introspection, into a period of healing, recovering. But the vibe that I'm getting from this card is perhaps you've been doing too much of that. You've been in a period of inactivity for too long, to the point where you've put aside your tools. You no longer call on spirit to help you move into another part of your life, to help you navigate certain parts of your life, you no longer ask for more. Or since the Nine of Wands represents like making a final stand, even when you're tired, even when you're exhausted, you still give it all you got in the end. Instead of doing that, you chose to give up because either you're too comfortable, you've gotten used to resting, there's something within your life that you've gave up on, and there's going to be a need for you to purge that for the month of March so you can tap into this Eight of Wands energy. They want you to move forward. They want you to tapping into this Eight of Wands energy. They want you to be calling on them when you need help, when you need direction. Perhaps that is why you have given up on any attempts of moving forward. Perhaps that is why you rather stay in this resting phase, stay in this period of inactivity. Because maybe you forgot that you can call on them. Maybe you forgot that you can actually step into an energy where there's a lot more movement. Maybe you forgot that you can ask for more in your life. You've gotten used to the life that you have now, and it can be very cozy, it could be very comfortable for you, but where you're at now is not where you're meant to stay. Where you're at now is not where you were meant to be giving up. You were meant to be still continuing to move forward, still continuing to tap into source, calling on your spirit team, your ancestors, the divine, to help you, to guide you, to help you bring the things that you're wanting to bring into the world, to help you set those intentions and to help you to continue to move forward on those intentions. So for some of you, perhaps you are on the path of healing. Some of you were on a path of being able to use Reiki, being able to use it as like a energetic tool. Maybe you were learning how to do it or getting activated in Reiki and yoga as well. Maybe some of you were on a path of learning how to teach yoga or do something with yoga. I'm seeing like someone in like a white coat and they have like a stethoscope around their neck. Maybe some of you were in school for nursing, or some of you were on a path of like just becoming a healer, period. Teaching people how to heal themselves, and it could be through ways of like holistically, like holistic nutrition. Maybe you were somebody who was showing people how to heal themselves in ways that are unknown conventionally, because in American healthcare we know the way of healing is to suppress symptoms, going to the doctor and getting prescribed pills and popping them in order to suppress any symptoms that you could possibly be experiencing. But perhaps you're somebody who came across the root of the issue within yourself, and you wanted to teach people how to do that as well, how to come across the root of an issue that they have within themselves, whether it be emotionally or physically, and you wanted to help them come out of that. And so what I'm getting is that some of you all were on this path of either learning how to do it or learning how to use it to help people, but you gave up on that path. You didn't continue on it because of the life that you're in right now. It's very comfortable for you. There really isn't a need for you to shift. There isn't a need for you to pivot, because the life that you have right now gives you the material things, the material comforts that you want. But there is a deeper calling that you're needed for this month. For the month of March, you're going to be needing to purge some aspects of this life, or some aspects of these characteristics of like being so comfortable that you don't take any action, or that you don't move forward. You don't build up momentum for yourself. There's going to be a need for you to let those things go, so then you can fully purge. And then when you finally get the sign that, hey, it's time for you to do this thing, you'll hear it. You'll have the space for it. So that is what I'm getting for this in bulk card. It does seem like you all need to just be purging things that made you give up. You're on a path and you decided to not go fully through with it, and it could be because you've gotten used to resting. You've gotten used to like honestly, I'm getting the word lollygagging. When I look at this card, that's low key how I feel. Like she just lollygagging in the office right now. She's like sniffing her little lavender stem. Her air spirits are sleepy, and she chills. She's like big relaxing, but she at work. So if you chilling and you at work, you clearly don't care about the work. Like you don't want to be there. Like you probably want to be at home chilling. I mean, if she's able to do that, then she's gotten real comfortable. So you're just in a lifestyle that's like it's pacifies you. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, that you're being pacified. So yeah, it looks like y'all may need to purge a job. That's kind of what it's looking like right now. But let's look at this initiation card and see like what are y'all actually being initiated into. I did hear like Reiki and something with yoga, or like a nurse, a doctor, like something within the healing profession. Definitely within the service industry, being of service of people. Maybe there's something else. So let's see what you all are being initiated into. What path are they being initiated into? Anything else? Okay, we got a lot. All right, let's see what paths you all are being initiated into. So we have the Six of Pentacles, and then we have the One of Swords, then we have the Temperance card. We also have the Empress card. We have the Six of Wands. And then we have the Hierophant card. Okay, we are back after a quick recharge. My camera literally died in the middle of me channeling. So we are back again to finish out this reading. Paths which this particular of the collective are being initiated into. Some of you may be nurturers, some of you may be healers, some of you may be seers, and the type of seeing that you're able to do is with a certain level of precision. You may be very you can see things very, very clearly. Like you may get visions, or you may just get phrases, words, ideas very easily. And then moving on to the Hierophant card, some of you also may be teachers. Some of you may have knowledge on how to work with herbs and how to use herbs to alleviate any symptoms, any pain. I'm getting kind of like hoodoo. Some of you may be initiated into learning how to do hoodoo, learning how to work with earth, learning how to work with the elements, herbs, making tinctures, taking certain ingredients, household ingredients, and making things with it that can help heal and restore the body, not only physically but also energetically. So some of you may have that ability to do it, and perhaps you are on the path of learning how to do it, or discovering that part of you, but at some point you stop. So yeah, some of you are definitely healers, some of you are seers, some of you are teachers. You're going to be teaching people how to use things that are available to them within their household. Everyday kitchen items, you're going to be teaching them how to use them in their spiritual practice. So that is what I'm getting for those who are teachers. I'm also getting someone who knows how to alchemize, someone who's really good at alchemy, someone who knows how to take certain elements and turn them into whatever outcome they want. You may be someone who is good at transmuting energy. I'm getting the saying of you're turning metal into jewelry or something like that. That's kind of what I'm getting from this Temperance card. And so with the Six of Pentacles, I'm getting that when you are initiated on this path, you are going to need to have trust. The times in which you are in need, the times which you need answers, you need guidance, you need direction, your support system, your guides, your ancestors, the universe, the divine feminine, the divine masculine will be there to help you every single time. You just have to reach out to them and they'll be ready to grab your hand. So yeah, I feel like it's so needed in this world right now. We need more healers, we need more seers, people who can see energy, people who can see where this world is going, and they can interpret it in a way for the everyday person to understand, an Akashic practitioner, or just even a tarot reader, someone who is an oracle, someone who is psychic. If you have psychic abilities, you're able to see and sense entities or beings on the other side, or you're able to see things that haven't happened yet but they're going to happen. We need you. We need you. That's what Spirit is saying, is we need you to step into that role and to not be scared of it and to not hold back, because it's time. It's going to be time. It's going to be time for people to move into those positions. We need more people who have knowledge on how to use herbs and how to heal yourself using the earth. We need people who have that kind of knowledge, because where America is headed anyway, just me speaking from my energy alone, more people need to be tapping into their gifts to be in support of those who live in America, because of where America is headed. Honestly, the sooner that you tap into your gifts, the sooner that you step into these positions of being a healer, being a seer, being teachers, the better. if you look at the Six of Wands, you can see that there's this person who's climbing up a mountain, it seems. And I think some of you on this path are going to see how easy it is for you to move forward. As you're moving forward, you can teach other people how they can move forward. You can teach other people how they can build momentum, how they can climb to the top as well. And I'm kind of seeing that you are the first person that needs to do it. You are the one who needs to make it to the top, so that once you make it, it's so much easier to teach people how you did it. It's so much easier to teach people the path that you took in order to do it. It's easier to inspire people. And the Six of Wands also represents like fame and notoriety, like celebrities, being known for something. You did the hard work, you kept moving forward, and because of that, you got recognized for it. And so for those of you who are going to be initiated on these paths, you are going to have to be the first on this path. You're going to have to, it's not going to be carved out for you. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. But in the end, there'll be a crowd of people who are wondering, like, how did you get there? How did you do it? And there's going to be an opportunity for you to teach them how you did. Okay, y'all, so it is like nighttime. I have like literally been out here for only an hour and a half and it's already nighttime. But anyway, so that is all of the messages from Spirit about what you're being initiated into. I just wanted to do a quick check-in with your spirit guides and see if they have any advice for you on this path. And I'm going to be using the Moonology Manifestation deck. Anything else? Okay, so the cards that came through from your spirit team is release your blocks, and it says first quarter moon in Scorpio. But this definitely aligns with this in bulk card, where you are coming to the end of winter and you're about to move into the energy of spring. And so it's now time for you to purge and purify yourself, whether it be through a spiritual bath or just doing some really deep spring cleaning in-house energetically and outside of you within your physical environment. But they're definitely telling you that you may need to sit with yourself, sit with your energy, do some introspection so that you can discover any blocks that you have within your energetic field and you can finally do the work to release them. Then you have honor your feelings, first quarter moon in Pisces. So I'm getting the feeling that you're going to need to honor your feelings, honor your emotions, but honor your intuition, honor what that inner voice is telling you to do and which direction it's telling you to go. That's going to be very important for you for the month of March. It's going to help you navigate this new path that you're going to be going on, and it may be familiar to some and may be unfamiliar to others, but you may feel like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like, why am I being called to do this? And I don't even know where to start. I don't even know like what this looks like for me. Tap into your emotions. The person in this image is meditating, so you may need to do some meditation. Ask your higher self what you need to do or to help you develop your intuition. But yeah, and then the last card that jumped out is make time for self-love. And it says last quarter moon in Libra. On this path that you're about to be initiated into, you may start getting into it, and then, or you may start going down this path and feel like all you need to do is work, because some of you may be coming from a 9-to-5. Some of you may be coming from something that felt a little bit more stable, and now you're being initiated into a path that feels very unstable. So the first thing we do is we work so much and we work as much as we possibly can to get this thing to be as stable as it possibly can, so that we can feel comfortable, so that we can feel like, oh, this is right for us. But initially in that stage where everything feels very unstable, you may be like a chicken with their head cut off, running, trying to get things to make sense. That could cause you to neglect yourself a little bit, neglect your self-care, and neglect the grace that you need to be giving yourself while you're on this journey, because you're going to be doing things that you may be unfamiliar with and you've never done before. And so it's going to be very important that you love yourself through this process and that you hold space for you to make mistakes on this path, because it's not going to be easy. But energetic wise, spirit is telling me like it is going to be worthwhile. It is going to give you the things that you've been looking for and asking for. But you just got to start heading in that direction. Let's see what the Moonology manifestation booklet has to say. Okay, starting with the first quarter moon in Scorpio, release your blocks. It says, when it comes to pushing through your fears and any other negative feelings, you're going to have to dig deeper. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, because fear blocks us. Make time to clear any toxic feelings around you. Don't let pride stop you from showing how dearly you want something. It's okay to be vulnerable. If you know the people you're dealing with are trustworthy, think about others as much as yourself. So yeah, so now I'm getting that mentally, emotionally, there's some energy around you that could potentially create some doubt, create worry as you continue to move forward. So it's good for you to sit with that now, see what your fears are, see what your worries are, sit with it now and release it, let it go. It has no space in the present moment. So, and then for honor your feelings, it says, are you putting on a good front and acting like you're bright and breezy but hiding your real feelings? Rather than acting as though everything is fine, if you're worried about certain issues, it's best to deal with them. See, there you go again. Like it's going to be important for you to, when those feelings come up, or even if they're not coming up right now, as you start to make those steps on this path, it's going to be important for you to sit with that energy that comes up. So then later down the road, it's not going to be an obstacle that is blocking you. It's not going to be something that ends up sabotaging your progress in the end. It's going to be very important for you to work through this energy, because it is going to come up. It's not something you can avoid. The doubt, the worry, the fear, it is going to come up. So just prepare yourself. And then let's look at this last quarter moon in Libra. Have you been trying to please all the people all the time when you're not quite happy yourself? There's a difference between wanting to live positively and spiritual bypassing. When you refuse to acknowledge your feelings, see, you're honoring your feelings, acknowledging your feelings is coming up again. So really your emotions here is going to be a big player in you moving forward in this path. It's going to be something that almost like flares up for you as you're on this path, and you understanding what your blocks are and understanding what feelings get in the way, what emotions arise that make you want to give up. Understanding that is going to be very important while you're on this path. So yeah, you guys, that was the advice from your spirit team. I hope you all enjoyed this reading, and I wish you all luck on this path. It's not going to be an easy one, but you are going to be supported at the end of the day. So I hope this reading brought you all clarity, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.